and gentlemen, very good afternoon. Thank you for coming to our international press talk. And let's start with Gery first. Gery, you Lifeball made a break of 1 year. I guess it might be very interesting for all attending media here to explain why this break was necessary.
Which was not a break. Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. So, to clear up the misconception, it was not a break, of course. I just felt Lifeball is now in actually the organization is now in its 25th year. I founded AIDS Life, now it's called Life Plus, in 1992, and so Lifeball has grown to a very, very important, one of the most important stand-ups stand-up is probably the wrong word, for one of the most important messengers fighting HIV/AIDS and fundraiser. And as I started, it was supposed to be a one-of-a-kind thing in only 93. Now comes 24. And it was meant to be a fundraiser in the early days when AIDS was a total taboo in Austria. And we started the organization to support national health services in Austria. Over the years, we became an international platform with a lot of international partners. They join us. Together we fundraise, and the money is used national and international. Our very first partner was in 2001, the AIDS Foundation. We started with 8 programs in South Africa, financed by Lifeball, and already the next one, AMFA, another huge partner of Lifeball, and a deep friendship for many, many years. We started actually with an award which doesn't exist anymore, the Christoph Hoppe Award. They were the first recipients. Out of that, from this €100,000 donation, it became a corporation where Lifeball invested about €6 million in the Treat Asia program, which is a networking on hospital services and knowledge about generics in the southeastern area, crossing 8 different countries. Are there still 8 or more? Even?
No, actually, no, 19.
19 already. 19. We started that these days. There were not. Anyway.
That's incredible.
And followed by the Clinton Foundation in 2007. So, and we moved on. Charlize Theron's African Outreach Program, and so that's what I actually consider Lifeball, to get everybody together, to get the attention of everybody, and to raise money together, and having the opportunity to support the most important initiatives globally. On the other side, I felt that the communication with Lifeball, as it also became such a huge event, became quite complicated, because tremendously many celebrities, also the spokespersons like President Clinton or Elton John or Sharon Stone, they all came, and all of a sudden it was all about the celebrities. It was also something when everybody, each of them, communicated about our different initiatives, and there were 62 national and international organizations since Lifeball exists. It's important that Clinton speaks about mother-to-child transmission. It's important that Elton John speaks about gay rights, especially in the Eastern Europe, and the tremendously increase of the HIV infection. AMFA, as we said before, especially with the Treat Asia, the pediatric part of the Treat Asia program, which is financed by Lifeball. That's all very, very important, but being in the show, it became sort of like really confusing for everybody And because the truth is, after almost 35 years of HIV/AIDS, mostly people in Austria even don't know the difference between AIDS and HIV. So it means back to the beginning and finding a solution to, by all the glamour the Lifeball has, just to put it really in front of what it is and how it has to be to change the lives of thousands and thousands of people. And that's why there was this break, and that's why I felt like we have to also structure our infrastructure, also our organization, and being really on more precise what we want. Also not being understood as a charity event for one night, because we work a lot over the whole year, and it's not only about fundraising and events, also to support with our media exposure Lifeball has, to support our Minister of Health, to support our AIDS Help organization, and give them also nationally a stronger platform as it has been the last years. That's why also we were very honored when Peter Lindbergh said to me in the beginning of this year that he will shoot an entire campaign for us. And I think 2 images are here from the 5 pictures of this campaign. It's Uma Thurman and Kate Winslet, yes. So, and very important also for me is for the new concept on Lifeball to because there was always this hype, this increasing, almost hysterical up to the Lifeball because of all the celebrities, and then the event happened, bam, and we started from the beginning. And what I really want to achieve now is to be sustainable with our messages, and that's why I'm so proud that from the Austrian national broadcast to the Billboard company, this month already more than 2,000 billboards were placed in Vienna with this campaign, and the television, the radio, and even sponsors. Mineral water puts it on the, not on the glass one, on the plastic, but anyway. And we found also a very, very important partner, also a financial supporter in Gilead. But we will talk about this later. That was a short answer, no?
Perfect. I'm used to that. Gery, thank you for your statement. I guess for everybody it's clear that HIV and AIDS will be on the focus tonight and also until the end of the night in the following years. This is only possible with initiatives such as I Want PrEP Now and PrEPster. And please welcome the strong fighters, Greg Owen and Will Nutland.
Thank you so much. And so I'm Dr. Will Nutland. I'm a public health doctor, but I also have about 25 years worth of being an HIV prevention activist. And this is Greg Owen from I Want PrEP Now. Just to be clear for everybody, we are 2 separate websites. We formed in October 2015. Although we're 2 separate websites, we now work hand in glove completely together. So Greg and I are absolutely honoured and thrilled to join you at Lifeball. This is our first time here, and it's an absolute amazing privilege to be here with you, and we're looking forward to this evening. We want to thank from the bottom of our hearts Gery and the Lifeball team, all of the volunteers who've helped put the event together today. And as we tried to find the press conference this afternoon, we were stunned by how many people there are working behind the scenes. So we want to shout out and thank to all of those people for putting so much tremendous work into getting things together. And we also want to thank all of those people who are turning up at Lifeball and taking part in this evening's event.
Thank you, Will. We'd also like to acknowledge our co-founders, Alex, Richie and Mark, and the heartfelt support of Professor Sheena McCormick, Dr. Max Portman, and the UK's National AIDS Trust. And thanks to the staff and team at EJAF for continually supporting us and helping us to do the work that we do, and Thomas, Mohammed, David and Elton, and the rest of the team.
So we are at one of the most exciting times in HIV treatment and prevention. And as we party later tonight, we think we should be celebrating some remarkable achievements.
We are hugely encouraged by the Lifeball's Know Your Status campaign. Across the world, millions more people are now benefiting from cheap and easily accessible HIV tests. And if someone does test HIV positive, HIV treatments are now changing the face of what it's like to live with HIV.
And why is that? Because not only does early diagnosis and early treatment help people with HIV to stay well and healthy, but we now know that these treatments, when taken consistently and as prescribed, make it almost impossible for someone to pass on HIV when that person has an undetectable viral load.
So, as well as the huge developments in testing and treatment, we know that if someone who doesn't have HIV takes a single, simple pill on an ongoing basis, that it's almost impossible for them to acquire HIV.
This is called PrEP, or pre-exposure HIV prophylaxis, and it has the potential to change the global face of HIV prevention. If PrEP can be prescribed to those of us who are most likely to be exposed to HIV, then we have the potential to reduce new infections across the world.
So, PrEP was approved in the United States 5 years ago, and it's now being very widely used there. But still, in Europe, most European governments and health services are still not providing PrEP. We know PrEP works. PrEP is still relatively expensive, and even comparatively wealthy health services struggle to justify that cost.
It's been the refusal of the English National Health Service to provide PrEP that led us, almost 2 years ago, to set up our websites, Prepster and I Want PrEP Now. We've provided information about PrEP to hundreds of thousands of people across the UK and beyond. That's information that our national health services have failed to provide.
So the situation in the UK, we know that thousands of people in the UK are now buying PrEP online, therefore bypassing bureaucrats and health services and doing so at a price that is 9 times cheaper than if they bought the patented version of the drug through private prescription. Unlike in many other parts of Europe, it's perfectly legal to do that in the UK. We should be asking why it's not elsewhere.
At the end of last year, we saw the results of this do-it-yourself health activism. HIV diagnosis in London fell by over 40%. Thanks to the websites that are run off our kitchen tables and a handful of funding. That 40% didn't come because of government policy. It didn't come because of our national HIV organisations backing PrEP. And it didn't come from funding from drug companies. It came from Greg and I working with a handful of friends to change the face of HIV incidence in the UK.
I love when you get angry. I do love it though. So we know that PrEP, along with early testing, treatment and condoms, has the potential, and more than the potential, it is starting to drive down HIV infections. I don't want to start swearing and screaming, but we need to be switching on to this. But it's only going to work if our governments, our health services and our non-governmental organisations support PrEP.
PrEP needs to be more widely available, especially those to communities that currently don't know about it but could benefit from it. That includes women, migrants, and those of us that sell sex.
So, PrEP and HIV treatments need to be more affordable, but drug companies are part of the solution to ending HIV, and they could do so by reducing the price of PrEP and HIV treatments in general, globally.
Today, if we ask you to do one thing, it's to go and find out more about PrEP, even if it's not something for you. And if you already know about PrEP, tell your friends, tell your family, and tell your lovers about it. You could be stopping them from getting HIV. Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to just say it because I think I didn't mention it before. Even in Austria, every 7th person, HIV positive person, doesn't know about their infection. So, which is, of course, if they don't know about it, they don't get treatment, and their virus load is, of course, rising up, and it makes for them also a very it makes them also dangerous for having a partner. And I think what never is really clear also when I see about the information, even in my home country in Austria, is the opposite way is just the same, because it's important to say against stigma. If you're in treatment, if you start early enough on treatment, as we heard, just the virus load is undetectable. It goes usually below 0. That means regularly the person is not able to infect partners. This is something most important to know, and just felt like we have to say once more this basic issue to make everybody understand. Sorry for interrupting.
Attention. Thank you for you from our side and from Life Plus joining us tonight. And I guess there you have a little announcement to make. We're not only proud to be in Vienna and that Lifeball is able to be in Vienna, but there is also a challenge. There is something was signed recently, and please tell us what.
Yeah, I just want to announce very uncomplicated that finally Vienna also joined Fast Track Cities, which is an active part of getting to the 1990 goals. And also, so this happened, but also what we want to achieve also for the next month is also together with the Minister of Health to make also the self-test legal now in Austria, and we're gonna work on that for the next few months. And also tomorrow, after the live ball, this is also new for those ones who haven't heard that yet, we installed so-called live ball next generation event, which is an event in the late afternoon for school kids between the age of 16 and 18. That's so they get their first live ball experience. I've always thought it's very important to keep all this equipment here and not use it for one night, but also so it will stay for the next night. So what we did actually 2 months ago, we started with peers in the school. We gave actually together with Deutsche AIDS Stiftung, Jugend gegen AIDS, so Youth Against AIDS. They work with us together to set up a peer program in Vienna, and then all these young school kids they did for the last weeks. They passed on our program and introduced it to their school classes. Some were really busy. They went and some of them they had already 20 school classes. So, and that was a cooperation with the Minister of Health and the Minister of Education. And so I'm very looking forward also for this event on Sunday, and hopefully you join it.
I'm here to read a message from Sir Elton John, who couldn't be here tonight with us. Once upon a time, we hid in corners, and HIV hunted us down, leaving people disgraced, sick, and silenced. Today, there is no more hiding. Today, we are the ones who seek out HIV because we don't need to be afraid. We seek out HIV testing at a clinic, a club, a football pitch, a pop festival, even at home. Today, we can fight HIV. We can know our status and we can protect ourselves and those we love with medicine and with knowledge. We know HIV doesn't have to defeat us, frighten us, or shame us. We thought HIV might win, but it didn't. Lifeball always knew we could win. I'm so proud that we have walked this journey together, and that with your support, the Elton John Foundation is able to find incredible work like HIV self-testing for the LGBT Russia and PrEP in the UK. I'm deeply admiring of the vision shown by Austria's leaders in championing the Know Your Status campaign. And I'm so jealous that I didn't get to give Naomi a hug tonight and thank her for her support and friendship. Have a wonderful time tonight, and thank you. Love, Sir Elton John. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Naomi Campbell, ladies and gentlemen.